to start your international career. I don't know how many times I was asked about it. And I think one of the reasons is because I started my career from zero, from scratch in different countries. So I have my personal experience on it, and I have been helping a lot of clients to do the same. So this is a question that I get several times, and I decided to share a bit of my background and about my experience to help you also to plan how to start your international career. The preparation should begin way before you make the move to the new countries. I mean, I know people do things in different ways, and I know people that just land in a new country and then they start thinking about, okay, what am I going to do next with my career, which is totally fine, but this is not the approach I want to give here. My approach is prepare yourself before you make the move. Think about it, be strategic, take the right steps, and then everything else is going to be faster and easier because you're planning, you're intentional about what you do. So I'm not against other ways to do that, but in order to help you, I think it's more useful if we talk about, okay, I decide I want to change countries, I want to start an international career. What do I do next? That's how I can help you. The first thing when you start planning your international career is decide to which country you want to go. I know this might sound like a silly question, and some people not even know that before they start. Some people just say, I want to have an international experience, which is amazing, but this is just the first step. You cannot target 20 countries because the strategy to start your career in each of them will probably be very different. Some people even filter by language. So for example, they say, I want to go and live and work in a country that English is the native language, which is fine, but still you have a wide variety of countries. And if you target to work, for example, in Ireland, your strategy is going to be very different than if you target to work in Canada. So define a criteria. Maybe you have been to the country and you loved it. Maybe you have family there, so people can support you in the very beginning. Maybe there is a specific company you want to work for, so you want to go to that country because of that company. Maybe your partner decided to move for work reasons or whatever reason to one country, so you already know this is the country you and your family are going to move. But it's important that you target which country you want to go, or at least I would say maximum 2 or 3 countries, because you're going to need to define a different strategy to each of those countries. If you don't know the country yet, but you still have decided that you want to live abroad, do the other way around. Start checking about some of the countries that you might consider an option. Check about the life cost. Check feedback, how people feel about it. Check about real job opportunities. Check about the economy. Talk to people that live there or have lived there. So get some more information. And then if you confirm that you would consider this country as a good option, you create your strategy to find a job there. And you should do the same with each of the countries you want to live. The second point is, if you want to work in a country, you should have your curriculum, your resume written in the language of that country. That might sound very obvious, but a lot of people don't think about it. If your curriculum is written in a language that people don't speak in that country, or most of people don't, it won't be helpful. First of all, recruiters won't search for that language. They're going to use the keywords and the job titles that the way they call it in the country. So you need to make sure you match your curriculum, even your LinkedIn profile, with the language spoken in the country. There is an exception here, and if it is in case you're considering a job that you can do in your own language. Some multinational companies offer you this possibility. So although you live in a different country, you're using your native language to do the job. In this case, you can keep your curriculum and your LinkedIn profile in that language. As a real example, I lived for many years in Barcelona in Spain, and a lot of my friends didn't speak any Spanish or any Catalan. They were native English speaking, and they were living in an English community. They were working in jobs that they only had to speak English. So this could be a reality if you go for big cities or cosmopolitan cities in which English or other languages are also very used. So that's an option for you, but you need to check that in advance. Don't just assume that your mother tongue will be enough for that country. Maybe it won't be useful at all. So in this case, you want to make sure that your curriculum and your LinkedIn profile are written in the language of the country you want to work for. And in this case, please remember, typo mistakes, grammar mistakes, all those things will look awful. So people might even disconsider you automatically for the job if you have any typo mistakes in your curriculum. So pay attention on it, be careful and make sure that whatever you write is perfectly written in your curriculum and in your LinkedIn profile to cause a great impression to the recruiter in that country since minute one. Do you have any idea about the reality of the job market in that country you want to go for? This is very important. Start checking even before you move the websites that are most used in that country. Check the job offers. Be familiar with the job titles, the description, the kind of areas that recruit more. It even changes in different regions of the country. So maybe in the capital you have more offers, but probably the life cost will be higher. If you live in the coast, in the countryside, it might vary. So you want to be familiar with that even before you get there. This will help you a lot in the process. So you can target some companies, you can target some job positions, you have an idea about the average salary. All of that you can do just by checking the real offers available in that country, or in that city, or in that region. And if there is any flexibility from your side, you're not decided yet about going to one specific city, for example, and you realize that another city close by, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours from that one, has way more offers, maybe it's interesting for you to change plans and go to the other city. So you can get a real taste of the market, of the sellers, the company that are recruiting, if you do that previously. So preparation is very important. Dedicate some time to study the reality of the job market before you get there. I mean, I know you can do that once you are in the country, but then you might realize that it's very limited, that city, to jobs related to your area or to your study. So if you can, dedicate some time way before you move to the country to check carefully the reality of the job market. Connections. Let me say that again because this is a very important aspect to consider. Connections. Do you know anyone that is already living in that country? Anybody that can open doors for you? People that can introduce you to other people? People that can, show you the best bars, the best areas, the best place to live, the schools for the kids. Any help you get at the beginning will be really, really helpful, especially for work. We know that a lot of positions are covered without being posted on a job place. Most of the positions are covered by referrals. There is this hidden offers, that's how people call it. So maybe if you know someone in the country, they might have their network and they can introduce you to someone that might be looking to exactly your profile. And then you can get a job offer without going through the regular recruitment process. Those things happen like that a lot, but it will only happen if you know someone in the place. Of course, you want to stop your plans and decide not to move somewhere just because you don't know anybody there. Definitely not. But I can tell you, it's way easier if you have at least one connection, one person that can make your life easier at the beginning, share some useful tips, introduce you to other people. So really try to remember, if you know someone there or even people who lived in that place before, share your plans, ask for advice also. People normally are very open to share their experience, their advice. So just ask and see if connections that lived in that place are willing to help you with any information. That's going to be very helpful. Another thing is money. Yes. Which is your money situation at the moment? Do you have some savings that you can survive in the new place and have all the expense covered for the move and for the initial expenses like renting a flat, maybe buying a car and buying furniture and all of that? Do you have enough money for that? Plus some savings that you're fine to live without working for a couple of months? If your situation is different, it's still fine, but you need to be realistic about it. Take a look at your real financial situation and be realistic about which are the options that you have. If you really need to find a job as soon as you arrive because you can't afford your expense in another way, go for it. But then my suggestion is be more flexible about the job. Don't aim for the job of your life, for only jobs related to your career or to your previous experience, because you are kind of in a survival mode. So you might want to do something in a bar, serving drinks, helping to clean houses, or working as an assistant. Whatever suits you, but be flexible, because your main need at the very beginning is to have your expense covered. And then when you're more stable financially, then you go and aim for better jobs they will still be there waiting for you. If you can be more picky since the beginning and you really want to target jobs related to your area, to your career, jobs that pay a certain salary or higher than that, that's also fine, but that might take a bit longer. In this case especially, I recommend that you start your job search before you move to the countries. You can do that by applying for jobs even before moving. You can use LinkedIn to create strong and powerful connections. You can even do job interviews online before you move there. So I know cases of people that got the job offer before they entered the airplane to move to the country. Other people that they did 2 or 3 interviews and just the final job interview was going to be done in person. So there is a lot of things you can do regarding the recruitment process before you move to the country to speed up the process and to ensure you get your first job in the area that you want with a certain conditions. But again, this is not the only way to start your career. If there is flexibility from your side, you can target easier jobs to get more entry-level positions, and then you start growing. And that can easily happen if you're working, for example, in a multinational company. So you can grow inside a company, which will probably be easier than just go from the outside to a job with higher requirements. And again, if you need to cover your expenses, just be flexible, look for options that you can do, you're gonna get paid and seems fine to you. And after that, you're gonna be more picky and also target higher jobs. Moving into a new country and start a brand new career might take time. It's not something that you just do like that and in 1 month you're there. It can be done like that, but I strongly believe that preparation is the key here. Take the time to make some important decisions at the beginning of the process. Ask for help if you need. There is no shame about it. And you're going to speed up the process and get better results. Be very intentional about it. Your whole life is going to change. And I tell you by experience, I lived in different countries, so I know how much preparation is required, how much energy. So I definitely recommend this experience to anyone that is motivated and committed to do it, because it will require preparation, time, and dedication. It won't be easy. I think it's always easier to stay in your own country because at least you know the environment, you're familiar with the language and the culture. So when you start a big jump and you go to a new country, there are a lot of new things to be familiar with, but it's very worth it. It's totally worth it. I really recommend that. But just prepare yourself. Take the time, talk to people, read about it, ask for help if you need, and enjoy the experience. You can have a brilliant career in your next country. So don't settle for a job that doesn't make you happy. Be flexible, especially at the beginning, but have clarity about your goals and your objectives. If you decide to start a career in a new country, I really support you, and it can be an amazing experience, as it has been for me. A lot of people ask me that, and I think one of the reasons is that another thing.